morning. My name is Adina Hodge. I am your host. Welcome to Be Inspired Radio Show. Today we have a very special lineup. I have a wonderful special guest who's going to share some information with you today on how her life changed around. I want to know how's everybody doing. Hope everybody's in a good mood because this is going to be a very exciting and inspirational show. It's going to be an empowering show. So if you're on the line, you're listening, or you're listening from our radio station platform, make sure you share this information with someone if someone's going to need to hear this information today. Okay, so without further ado, I have a very special guest on the line for you this afternoon. Okay, now she has a lot of accolades, so just bear with me now, folks. Okay, now single mom, right? Single mom, five wonderful children. One is resting up in heaven. God rest his soul. Okay, marketing director. And she goes by the name of Miss 50K. Why? Because she's a $50,000 bonus earner. She earned a free company car. Okay, multiple $10,000 bonus earner. And she is going to tell you how one decision that she made changed her whole entire life around. So for those of you who are listening out there and you're just not sure, sometimes you're sitting on the fence about doing something, she's going to show you how powerful faith is and how powerful making that decision is, for you to change your life around. Miss Tashana Richardson, Marketing Director, $50,000 bonus earner. Are you on the line?
Absolutely, Adina. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can, loud and clear.
Awesome. So first of all, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to, share this space with you about, what has taken place in my life. And, just even today, the announcement that was just made. I'm just in awe of what God is doing in my life. And, I'm just so grateful. Today has just been a great day. And so forgive me for just being in a loss of words. But first of all, I just want to thank you and your radio show for allowing me to come on and, share my personal testimony with you guys.
Yes, I definitely appreciate having you on the show. And, when we say $50,000 in 84 days, that may seem like something that's impossible. People are going to think, I don't know, that could be made up, that could be made believe, but this was your life. This was your testimony. I watched you transition from where you were to where you are now. And it's a powerful testimony. But can you share with our listeners, how did you manage to earn $50,000 in a course of 84 days?
Wow. Well, first of all, we want to thank Surge 365 for allowing me to come in this company and they had it on the table. The ironic part is that nobody had done it. Nobody had earned it when I joined. So when I first became a member of Surge 365, I didn't even know anything about it. And so it wasn't even introduced to me until about day 50, day 55 of me, joining Surge. And so this took place back in 2016. It's been over 2 years now, going on 3 years this May. And so the turning point for me it happened when my son passed away. First of all, thank you. I'm a single mother. I have 5 wonderful children. I have one in college. And then, my last child, my 6th child, he passed away a few days shy of being 6 months old. And it was just a pause in my life. It seemed as if that life was just passing me by. And, I didn't even want to live anymore. It had gotten to the point where I said, you know what, this thing called life, I can't do this. Losing a child and, not understanding why, and, I felt robbed, and I said, nope, this thing called life, this ain't for me. And so after 3 years of just not allowing myself to fully accepted, I said, God, whatever the reason is that you have me here, I need to know what it is because at this point, I don't know. And so I finally, had enough guts and mustered up enough strength to ask God, okay, God, why? Why am I here? And sometimes we pray and ask God things and we expect an answer right away, but this
Mhm.
answer didn't come right away. And so my posture was to be in expectation. And so I began to
Mhm.
be in expectation, and that prayer was sent out to God back in November of 2015. And so in my time of waiting, and see, sometimes when we put seeds in the ground, we think things are supposed to happen overnight. And it just doesn't happen like that for people. And so I put this prayer to God in 2015. At this time, my ex had left, he went on, and here I am. I said, okay, God, I've been at my worst. Losing him is it definitely doesn't parallel to what I've just gone through. So my position is I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait completely and fully on you for my next move. November passed, December passed, January, February, March, April, and then here comes this little lady named Renee Toppin that was introduced to my organization called I Am Beautiful the Movement. This place of refuge was created on Facebook for women like myself that had gone through things, women that had triumphed over tragedy. It was just a beautiful space. It is a beautiful space because the group is still in existence. But I created this space, and it was birthed from the loss of my son. And in 30 days, there was over 80,000 women in there screaming, I am beautiful. And she was one of
Wow.
the 80,000. And she, to this day, she does not remember who introduced her to the group, who, shared them. She does not even remember, but she studied me and she watched me. And May 13th, 2016 is the day she inboxed me and said, I want to help you. Now, mind you, I have people that knew my situation, knew personal things that I was going through, and this perfect stranger on social media is inboxing me and saying they want to help me. So what's the first thing people do when somebody sends them a friend request and there's no mutual friend? Oh, somebody must
Mhm.
have sent them. Somebody who sent you, type questions to yourself. Maybe God sent that perfect person to your life
Mhm.
for a reason, and he has a way of connecting people. And so I said, you know what? This is it. Why does she want to help
Mhm.
me? Well, I let her in my life, and when we finally talked, she said your life would never look the same. And I believed
Wow.
her. I didn't watch a video. I didn't go to a meeting. I didn't get the luxury of being on a three-way call with her upline. She said to me, I want to help you and your life would never look the same. And I believed her. I believed her. See, sometimes we invest in things, we still invest, but we really don't even believe. And so God
Mhm.
He can't even honor a sometime seed. You gotta be completely
Mhm.
in. And so what you sow is definitely what you're gonna reap. And I sow wholeheartedly. Everything that I had went into this seed. And then God quickly reminded me that it wasn't my last. He said, you know what? Yeah, this may look like your last, but I need you to know that you invested your all. And so when that thing resonated in my heart, and the first question I asked her, and excuse me, educators, if you're on the line, I said, what I got to do? And she said, just follow my lead. And that's what I did. And I gracefully grabbed her hand. Had never seen her yet. Hadn't even met her yet. And in my first 7 days, without even seeing her face to face, people say, I need you to hold my hand. I can't join this thing because I need somebody to sit down with me. See, that's the difference between somebody that has faith in the things that they
Mhm.
can't even see. I didn't know what was about to happen. I didn't
Mhm.
have a sit down with Renee Toppin. But my first 7 days, I earned the Fast Start bonus, which was $1,280. And that right there turned my whole life around. I went back to work. Mind you, I'm a hairstylist. I've been a hairstylist for 12 years. And I quit. And I quit happy. And then, oh my goodness, did the rumble begin in the world. Ain't no way in the world I would have quit my job. Those things they're not guaranteed. But see, I know that God created me different than the average. I know who I
Mhm.
was when I was a little girl, and I always wanted to take risks and scared my mama all the time when I wanted to just do things and go above and beyond what was required of me. I knew that person was still on the inside of me, and so I didn't care what people said, and I just muted the noise. And in my first 84 days with a team of great people like yourself, Adina, like Adrian
Mhm.
Dawkins, like Letitia Nicole, with a bunch of us. This was not a Tashana thing. This was a group effort.
Mhm.
We all just went to work. And because all of that, by default, there was a
Mhm.
$50,000 bonus on the table. And when that happened, my children seen a change in me. I watched a change in them because we were living with someone else. I went to purchase a car because I didn't have a car, and
Mhm.
we checked into a hotel. We checked into a hotel because at that point my ex left and the house foreclosed, but I kept working. I kept working. We checked in a hotel, and I was excited about it because at least I had a travel membership to stay, and I didn't have to borrow money from people. And so I was without a home, but I was in the hotel, and we stayed there from September to December of 2016, and then we moved, and we're living in Georgia today. And to make a long story short, God has just been really good to me. He's been good to my family. He's been good to my children, and I'm just so honored to be in the company of you, Adina, and everybody that you
Mhm.
have introduced me to. But you know what? The most important thing about all of this is that everybody has the same opportunity. And people think, oh, well, she knew a lot of people. Oh, she had that I am beautiful group. And they always want to make excuses for your success. And in this company, everybody has a fighting chance to do whatever it is that you want to see happen for you. My why is my children. My why may be different from anybody else's reason for joining the company. I joined because I needed the money. The product is travel, so this vehicle is getting me to where I want to be. Now I have a book that's coming out that was
Mhm.
inspired by my travel in Costa Rica. And I've been able to travel with you guys, Adina, and meet some great
Mhm.
people. And I've watched everybody, that's part of this organization, duplicate what I've done. And so it gives me a great honor to say that everything that I've ever been promoted to, I've produced. And this is just the beginning. We're in year 4
Mhm.
with Surge
Mhm.
365, and this is just the beginning. And so I want to speak to the audience, and we're not talking about Surge 365. We're talking about faith. So many people speak it, so many people talk it, but are we really living this thing? How are we living? Because I've met a lot of people that are Christians and they lack faith. They lack it, and they
That's
speak it.
powerful. Mhm.
They
Mhm.
they 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 preach it, and I'm not proud about what I'm about to say, but in
Mhm.
my just as for me, I don't know about anybody else, but I've talked to a
Mhm.
lot of people and introduced this business to a lot of people, and I'm sad to say this out loud, but the truth is the truth. They have been the most fearful people that I've ever spoken to. The most fearful
Mhm.
people that I've ever spoken
Mhm.
to. And I want to know why. But then again, it's
Mhm.
because we are not living what we're preaching. And I have lived by faith. I mean, you're listening to a woman. I don't have a high school diploma. Thank God they've allowed me to bump me up and give me an adult high school one so I could just be able to go to school to be a cosmetologist. Thank God for that. But
Mhm.
my resources were very, very limited. Staying in Section 8 housing for 9 years, being in the system for 17 years. I turned that food stamp card back in. Once I met Surge 365, I turned that card back in and I said I found another way. Do you know they had a nerve to call me and said, "Are you sure?" Because they had gotten so sure, used to me being dependent on the system that they thought I would never find another way. Is she gonna be able to feed all 5 of them children? What did she do? What did she find? And I have not been on government assistance since 2016, and I'm just grateful and thankful, you know, to be able to share just a snippet because I can go on and
Mm-hmm.
on, Adina, about what the Lord has done for me and what He's done for
Mm-hmm.
you guys, and it makes me
Mm-hmm.
feel good to, tell of His goodness. But most
Right.
importantly, this is a place. The year of increase.
Mm-hmm.
2019 is a year of increase. The year 2020, God He's just going to show up everything that we sowed from 2019 and back. There is going to be some harvests that people sowed years and years ago. And
Mm-hmm.
with clarity, there's no confusion. And so those things that you've been praying about, worrying about, 2020, you just got to hold tight. You just got to hold on and keep plowing, keep plowing, keep plowing, keep doing what you're doing because nothing happens overnight. The best farmer
Definitely received that.
is
Mm-hmm.
the best farmer right now. He's out there plowing. He's out there plowing because he know in due time some rain is going to come, and in due time that harvest is going to he's going to have a harvest to reap. And so sometimes we just got to stay out there, and our backs get to hurt from plowing. The sun is beaming on our back, and God, wow, everybody else harvests, and we're looking around at everybody else, but you just stand still because what God has for you is definitely for you. And so back to you, Adina. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, absolutely. It's a pleasure for you being and sharing your testimony with us. I want to know, and maybe some of the listeners want to know, what was that transition like? You coming from that place where you felt empty, that place where you felt like what, I'm on my last dollar, but you stepped out on faith to jump into something you knew nothing about at all, and you gave it your all. What was that transition like, coming from the Section 8, coming from the government assistance, and now going into earning and being over a six-figure income earner? What was that transition like? You were used to life one way, and now you were able to adjust to something else, something new, but still remain so humble, because you're very humble. So, what was that transition like? Because I think that some people, the ones that you were speaking of, the ones that are fearful, the ones that are scared, they're afraid of success. You embraced it. You took it right on and you embraced it head on. And now you are out and inspiring and empowering other people that they too can do it, both men and women. So, what was that transition like for you to cross over that line? What was that like? What was that moment like for you? If you don't mind telling our listeners.
Yes, absolutely. It was just a moment of reflection, and I had to face me head on. And when you look in the mirror, you see two things. You see the things that are behind you, and then you see yourself. And I had a moment to look at my old life, and it just flashed right before me. And I said, I'm going to take this opportunity and run with it because I'm more afraid to stay where I am today than take this opportunity and find out what's on the other side of where I am today. So I was more afraid of staying where I was versus being scared of success. And I don't even think I'm successful just yet. I think I've been able to do a lot of things. However, I really don't even think I've hit the mark of success just yet because every day is a surreal moment. It's a moment of gratitude, moment of thanks, and just to look back where God has brought me from in this short period of time. But I had a moment to just stand there and reflect. Either I want to look forward or I'm going to continue to look back at what's behind me. And God said, go now. And I took off running. And it seemed like the faster I was running, the more arms was trying to pull me back. And I just said, you know what? I got to do this for my children. Every day I would call their names out. Before I go to bed, I would call their names out. And nothing outside of that mattered. Nothing outside of my five children mattered. It's like almost going in your house at night. And once you shut the door, whatever's going on outside of your house, it has nothing to do with you. And that's what I just kept my focus on. I kept my focus on what it could do for them. What am I showing them? Am I going to leave them with a legacy or I'm going to leave them in debt and carry the things that I've carried from the time I became an adult, became a mother? That's not fair to them. And so that's why I work so hard now because What I do today is willable to my children. I don't know how much it'll be, but I would rather leave them something than nothing. So now I take them all over the world and they travel with me. They go to meetings with me, journey. Yeah, if you follow my page, I put them on a helicopter ride for the first time at Thanksgiving for 2016. I took them to Myrtle Beach and that's what we spent Thanksgiving on the beach. I'm giving them an opportunity to see life through travel because God created this entire universe for us to see. And why is it that when I meet so many people that it's only up the street that you've ever been? It's only around the corner that you've ever been. We have to learn how to tell our children to dream bigger. I was a little girl before, and it was my dream to be the next Oprah Winfrey. I wanted to speak to the masses. I was going to be this journalist. I had mapped it all out, but I didn't have a team that was rooting for me. I had my mom. She was like, "Oh yes, this is her dream." But how would you tell a child? How would you encourage that child to say, "Yes, you can"? What did the nurses say? I didn't even finish high school, so I thought all of those dreams were dead because I didn't complete something that I thought was required to get there. And I'm not saying education or finishing school or going to college is a bad thing, but when you have favors that that resonates over your life, that resides over your life. There's nothing that degree can do when God has His favor all over you. And so today, those dreams are alive. I still want to speak to the masses. I still want to meet Oprah Winfrey. There's a lot of things that I would love to do, and I'm just standing in my position is just I'm here, and my arms are wide open, and I'm taking and carrying everybody that wants to go. And so it was just a moment of a pause and reflection. Do I look forward, or do I continue to look at the things that's behind me? And I chose to move forward.
Thank you so much, Tashana. You have been an excellent leader, and unbeknownst to a lot of people, when I joined with the company Surge 365, I was introduced to Surge by someone that you introduced, a lady by the name of Adrienne Dawkins, and she was one of the first $10,000 bonus earners with the company. And when I partnered with her, I just wanted to save the money on the travel. I wasn't really um, into the business aspects of it. I didn't really inquire about it. So I just wanted to save money on travel, and I started traveling, and I got to share a lot of memories, with my son. But then I saw you, Tashana, on Facebook, and this was at the towards the very beginning. You was on Facebook, and you were in tears, and you were talking about cashing your check. The bank were giving you a hard time, and in my mind, I couldn't understand what was. I said, "Well, she just got a check for over $1,000. Why is she crying?" And you piqued my interest. You piqued my interest in terms of being out there to help other people, because sometimes we got to get out of our own way. And just I don't want to say limited to women, but I just want to say in general, sometimes people want to make it all about them. They want to make it all about them. And you didn't make it about you. You just said, "I want to get out there and I want to help as many people as I can." And when I saw you on Facebook crying, I said, "Well, here's the next week. She got another check again. How's she getting these checks?" So I began to talk to Adrian about it. And she said, "Well, you just said you wanted to do the travel, and that's where my interest my interest came in, saying, "Oh, we're helping people." A lot of people partner and join businesses, and they always assume the worst because they're not educated and they don't know what it's all about. They don't know what it's all about. Okay, and what happens is, they come on board and they have a misconception of what it's about, and then they quit. You didn't quit on us. You didn't quit on us. So therefore, we didn't quit with you. So we came in, displaying the same energy that you gave out to us. And everyone, it's just been contagious since then, And I just wanted to encourage people, when you decide to become part of something, you got to be willing to give it your all, because you've already invested your time, you've already invested your money, And you just can't expect for it to just work for you. You have to put in the work, and that's something you've done from day one. You didn't turn back. We know you've been through some ups and downs, and maybe it wasn't easy all the time, but you kept that faith. You kept going, and you kept pushing. And you're a legend, Tashana. I know you feel that you're not there yet.
No,
You're
no,
not
I
there
mean,
yet.
that's a big word. That's
We're going to
a
read about you in some books. Let me tell you something. We're going to read about you in some books, okay?
oh my
Maybe another
goodness.
5 or 10 years from now, someone's going to be sitting in the classroom and they're going to have you up there, Miss 50K, from food stamps to 50K, because there's a lot of women that's probably in your situation right now, and that's all they know is the government. That's what they're conditioned to. They don't think that there's another way out. There's another way out, but yet, single mother of five, you were able to turn not just your life around, but for your whole entire family. And sometimes you have people that are working 9 to 5 jobs, and I'm not knocking a 9 to 5, but it's taking time away from their family, their loved ones, and they're not just doing it once; they're working 2 and 3 jobs to try to make ends meet. And there are these opportunities that present themselves, and they're asking for that sign from God. Lord, give me a sign, show me a sign, and the sign keeps passing them by because they don't know what that sign should look like. They think that sign lies in them clocking in, clocking out, working as many jobs as they can, and getting a paycheck. Going back and forth to work, but now they're taking time away from their family.
Well,
So
what?
you're. Mm-hmm.
The reality of what you're saying is very, very real. And for a lot of people, that's just what it'll be. Because that's what, like you said, we were conditioned to go to school, get good grades, go to college, marry well, live happily ever after. You know, um, and I'm not going to say it's a sad thing, but my prayer for people is to look outside of making other people wealthy and take that same time, the same energy that you give that job for yourself, because everybody has a dream. And I have never met one person that was totally happy about being on somebody else's schedule. I've never met that type of person. I've met a lot of women that are the reason why the restaurant is what the restaurant is because you're back there in the kitchen making that fried chicken, that famous fried chicken that your mama and your grandma and your great grandmama, that's the recipe. That was the gift that was left for you to open up your own restaurant. And because the owner or the owners know that they're not going anywhere, they will pay them bare minimum. And you would never see the person in the back. You would never see their name praised on the menus anywhere. It's just not yours. You work for them. So at the end of the day, it's their fried chicken. It's their restaurant. But if I can just tap into that heart and say, don't you know that you can have food chains all over the world because of what your ancestors left you with this wonderful recipe? And that's the thing that really hurts me. And I see all these gifts and all these talents hidden because they are working these jobs and they fear anything outside of what they don't know. But for those that are risk takers, you hold a very special place in the world because you are the people, you're the person that people are looking to. You are the person that's inspiring the world because you decided to step outside of the what was familiar. And when we can do that, there will be a world of entrepreneurs. And then you will leave
Mm-hmm.
that legacy for your children. See, it's a traditional thing, and it's a pattern that we leave in our children. I don't want that for mine. If my son is in college and he's an entrepreneur, he has not have asked me for a single dime since he's been in college, and that's the truth. You know why? Because I put that in him when he was little. Even though I didn't have my own business, But I told him, you can go to school, you can go to college, but you can also have your own. And today he's earned thousands of dollars doing graphic designs while he in school. And he just released his very first book. He's 19, going to be 20 years old, releasing his first book as an author. And that makes me happy. That makes me happy because now he's inspired my other children to dream bigger. And we don't have to look outside of what we already have. Everything that you need is already on the inside of you. We look to people. We look to celebrities. We look to things. We look at material things that people have, and we want to duplicate, and we want to live like everything that you need. It has already been planted on the inside of you. Tap into your gifts. Tap into your talent. If it's a book in your soul that needs to be written, you go look on Facebook and find you a publicist. Ask God to navigate you to the right person that can bring those words to a piece of paper. If there's a business that you want to open, surround yourself with other people that are running businesses like you want to run it. I promise you, a person that's in business, they will share the blueprint for you. We just have to step outside of what's familiar and get uncomfortable. Roll your sleeves up. Throw the baseball cap on sometime and say, you know what? I don't like the life that I've been living. And in order to get something that I never had, I got to do something that I've never done. And so hopefully just a snippet of my testimony has been encouraging, has been uplifting and enlightening. You can find me on social media, Tashana Richardson. And I'm just going forth in the way that God has created me to go and the path that he's created me to follow and allowing him to just navigate me through this thing called life. And I'm enjoying every single bit of it. Back to you, Adina.
And we appreciate you so much, Tashana. And also, I know you have a wonderful, wonderful event coming up. You want to tell our listeners about it?
I'm sorry.
I got you, girl.
Yes, it's a delay. Absolutely.
Okay.
So yes. Birth from the nonprofit organization I Am Beautiful, the movement, which is a wonderful organization. So if you ladies out there, you're listening, you never heard of the organization, this is a no judgment group. I Am Beautiful, the movement, over 80,000 women in there. We're just sharing love, sharing positivity, and we are off to our very first event for 2019. It's called I Got You Girl. And a lot of times in life, we as women, we're good for this. We'll see our sister need us, and we'll say, hey, if you need me, call me. I got you. When that time comes, we're nowhere to be found. But what does I got you mean? What does I got you? And it's not a word that you would use to take advantage of somebody. But, I may not be a publicist, but I can put you in the hands of somebody that is. And so I got you, girl. Well, I'm not a therapist, but I know a therapist that can help you. And so we are putting together the experience of an event that's going to transform your life, transform your mind, transform the way that you think. Renee Toppin is the keynote speaker. She's my mentor. We have a kickoff of a 30-minute workout with my personal trainer that morning. Then we're going to have live entertainment. It's going to be a day of fun in Atlanta. So there are only 40-some tickets left. We have started off with 200 tickets, and there are only 40-some tickets left. To God be the glory. And so if you want to grab a seat, it's $49.50. The ticket, general seat, is $99, and you get a free T-shirt. You'll get an accountability partner for life, and then you'll also get a I Got You Girl customized ink pen and notepad. But that day is going to set so many lives free, and it's just for women only. So May 18th in Atlanta, I Got You Girl. I have a few tickets left. Inbox me, and I would love to meet you in person right in Atlanta at the Sheraton, downtown Sheraton, this May 18th. So thank you for letting me, plug that. I definitely appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Tashana. Appreciate having you as a special guest on the show. Thank you so much for sharing your testimony. And you heard her. Get down to I Got You Girl in Atlanta. Make sure you follow her on Facebook, Tashana Richardson. That was just so powerful and so touching. And that's what this show is all about. just being inspired because sometimes a lot of people right now they're dealing with different sicknesses, different ailments, and so forth. And depression is seen to be on the rise. Suicide is seen to be on the rise. And sometimes you just need to hear the right words at the right moment. You know, you never know who you're surrounded by, if they're going to bring that positivity into your life or they're going to feed you with the negative energy. You know, so we're out here and we just want to empower, inspire everyone that's listening, you know, step out on faith, move forward. Let this be your year. Let this be your year. So I have another guest, wonderful lady that I've met. Social media is very powerful, everyone. Met a lot of wonderful people on social media. And I met this wonderful lady by the name of Akeisha Trap. She likes to call herself the Queen Trap Millionaire. She's also a single mother, two beautiful daughters. She was born and raised in Columbia, South Carolina. And she's another person who also took a leap of faith. She took a leap of faith and she stepped out and she started this new journey in life. And she's going to tell you all about it, you know, because it's not easy. It's not easy stepping into the unknown because you don't know if you're going to succeed or if you're going to fail. But they always say nothing beats a failure but a try. You won't know unless you try. So she took a step. She took a leap out on faith, and she's going to tell you all about her business, you know, business solutions and what she's embarked upon with this journey. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce my second guest, Miss Akeisha Trap. Are you on the line?
Yes, ma'am. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's a wonderful day for you. Welcome to our
Yes,
show.
ma'am. Thank you. Thank
So
you.
so let's hear about it. You stepped out, you took a leap of faith. You know, I know that you're a certified nurse's assistant and you started your own business. What was it? What was that journey like for you? Just saying, you know what, or what made you make that decision to become a business owner? Let's start there.
Okay. Um, like I said, we moved from Columbia to North Carolina, and I wanted something different. I am from the government assistant. We was in government assistant housing, and then we was on food stamps and everything. And so I had decided to get my CNA because I was out of work for 6 months. So I had got my CNA. I worked and worked, and I really barely see my kids, and it took a toll on me because I was tired and I didn't have no energy, and I couldn't see my kids because I'm always working, and what really got me was she's my daughter said, "Mommy, when are you gonna come home and spend some time with me?" So that really got me thinking. A year ago, I was introduced to network marketing. I didn't know anything about it. So I did research on it. Um, I did a lot of research, and I started doing traveling. That's how I got into the traveling business. And I started to get to understand it a little bit better. So I did more research, and I they started me with personal development, and that really got me into learning about myself because at a job they really don't care about you. Um, I'm not trying to put jobs down, but at the same time, I tell the manager anything I need days off. I can't get to work, and it's like they don't care. So I started my business. I really got successful. I started meeting a lot of people, and as entrepreneurs, I realized that everybody want to lift you up and they want to see you rise, and I don't see that in the workplace. It's all about bickering and putting people down, and so it seems like it's like a whole totally different. I had really transferred my life all together. It seems like I have a different mindset, and it's not all about selling or getting people. It's all about personal freedom, financial freedom, time freedom, because time is
pressure. Time is so short, and it seems like, and I really didn't caught on to what they was talking about until they sat down and broke it down to me. Like, wow. So now I'm to a point where I really want to do like on my own business full time because like a couple of weeks ago I had lost hours because of my kids. And once you lose hours, you cannot get it back. That's money lost. So good thing I have plan B as a business owner. I can fall back and focus on my business. With versus a job, I don't have no vacation time, so I can't have no days off. So that's the dilemma of what I'm in right now as a single mother.
So,
And I
wow.
just
So
got
what?
my well,
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, what was that experience like now with you being able to start your business now? Are you able to have more time now with your children? Because you're saying you're thinking about doing it full time.
yes, now I got my kids involved. I hire my kids. We spend more time together. We try to get the flyers out there. We try to get videos out there so we can get our business traveling and helping people with their credit. And it's really, really important. I didn't realize how important credit was until I got into the credit business. I mean, credit is the key, and they serious about that because you cannot get anything with credit. Like I said, I was in government assistance, and like a month ago, it's I just bought a house, so my credit shot up. And I
Congratulations
mean,
on that.
yes, it's like a foundation. A business is a foundation. I'm not telling you no lie. Just to get your stuff together, you thinking about yourself. You thinking about your family. It's all about leaving a legacy for your family and your grandkids and your kids. It's just amazing. And then your kids be so excited because it's part of they are part of what you're doing. Besides at work and you away from your kids. I mean, kids so young, they really want to be part of your life. So that's why I really want to start engaging more in my business because, and then I have my baby doing marketing at school. I said, baby, we gotta do this so we can we can prosper our business, prosper our lives.
So, what does the next 5 years look like for you now? Because you tell me why you have that AKA trap millionaire. What is that looking like for you in the next 5 years from now?
Because,
What are some of the
honey,
goals that you have set?
yes, ma'am, I am a believer and I'm speaking it to existence. I claim my director. I am claiming it in the name of Jesus. I am so serious. I realize when I go to these events and stuff, and I say if they can do it, I can do it. So I claim it and I speak it to existence because, like I said earlier, I was in government assistance and I speak it to existence and I told my kids we're not no longer be on the government assistance. God lifts all that up on me. And now we own our own house. I'm not on the government assistance at all, and I own my own business.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So let me ask you, if someone wanted to get in contact with you, how would they be able to reach you? Social media, you know, let the listeners hear the information and let them know, what it is that you're into if they're interested in stepping out on faith like you did and partnering with you.
Partner, it's Akeisha Trap, Akishatrapp. You can reach me at 980-293-7760. And as a true believer, walking out on faith. not knowing anybody, as a single mother with two kids, if you just believe and trust in God, I mean, truly believe, break down, and tell God to take His wings and cover you in the blood of Jesus, He will show you and let you meet good people. Cause that's what He did when I went to North Carolina. I didn't know a soul in North Carolina. And the only thing I had in North Carolina is people lifting me up to the next level.
Wow, that is truly, truly amazing. I can identify with that personal development because I remember becoming part of network marketing and working in various areas in different companies. And it was always a different atmosphere when you stepped in the room. Everyone was so excited, they were cheerful. As you said, just cheering people on and encouraging you. That was my happy place. That was my happy place. And even, you know, becoming part of the company that I'm with Search 365, it just became a whole new entire family for me. Being in that room, being in that atmosphere, being able to, you know, prosper and grow and get that personal development. Because again, you know, you don't want to be around the same people that's doing the same thing and you're not getting any results. You want to be able to step forth and move forward and grow. It's all about growth. So when you surround yourself with people who are trying to help you grow and get to that next level, now you're able to pass that baton on to someone else. And that's what this is all about. I said it a little bit earlier, but a lot of people have that misconception of what the marketing is all about. I've had conversations with people, and they feel that the moment you say, well, hey, Keisha, why don't you partner with me? Or hey, Keisha, why don't you join with me? That it's a scam or that it's a pyramid or something. No, there's a product or there's a service that's being offered. It's something that you're already doing. It's something that you're already using, right? And as far as I'm concerned, if I'm going to use it, I might as well have a piece of the pie. I might as well own it. Okay? Any business that I partake in, I am an independent contractor. I am my CEO because you know what? The information has to be shared regardless. It has to be shared regardless. When we share information, some people are so conditioned to one way. They can share a show on TV. They can share a movie. They can tell you about what's going on and some of the reality TV shows. That's sharing information, and they're doing it for free, and they're doing it willingly. But now, when you're being paid to share information, it's a problem. It presents a problem. Oh my goodness, you want me to get somebody? You want me to help someone to make additional income? Oh, there's something wrong with that. That has to be a scam. That has to be. I have to invest. You mean to tell me that I have to invest money into something? I have to invest money because you guys are going to give me a website. I should invest in that. I should invest in something that's going to help bring me residual income for the rest of my life. I should have to invest in that. People have a misconception of what this is all about, and sooner or later, hopefully someone brings more awareness to this area. There's books that's being written right now about MLMs, about network marketing, and things of that nature. But, we want to bring it where people see it on the rise in terms of their mental, the way that they think about it. They have to change their mindset. And if they're willing to open their mindset, they'll understand it, then they're not going to be worrying about a 9 to 5.
And that's the problem. They got to change their mindset. You're exactly right. You have to renew your mind because I was in a seminar and they said stop having a poor mentality. And poor means passing opportunities repeatedly. Why would you want to pass opportunities that God had gave you? Why would you want to pass up an opportunity and say it's a scam? But I'm sitting here giving you like these. Even if I give you going to a meeting and seeing these top earners, and you still not believing me? What's going on?
Well, Akeisha, I love to thank you again for being my special guest, my guest number two on Be Inspired. We want to thank you for taking the time out to share your testimony with our listeners. And we're going to make sure we have your information in our group, in the Be Inspired Show group on Facebook. If you missed it, you can always come back and catch the replay of this show. And for all my listeners who are out there listening, I'm going to be closing out shortly. But, just very passionate about hearing people's story and people's testimony on their whys and how they started, their growth and seeing their growth and development. And it happens right before your eyes, but yet you're still in disbelief, and we sit in front of a television and we watch these things, that are on television, but that's the lifestyle we want to create for ourselves. And this is not for everyone, but it's for some, because you watch the television and you want to create that life that you see on TV, and there's an opportunity that knocks on your door and says, hey, you can have it all. But you're not stepping out on faith. You're not trusting. You're not believing. And, your ideal system tells you if you work for the next 25, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, if you're making it harder and harder as people come about and they work on municipal jobs and stuff, they're not going to be retiring until the age of 70. What type of life is that? What quality of life is that if you have to work all your life just to pay bills and then retire just to sit at home, not be able to do anything because now you're at the age where you may be suffering from different ailments and stuff because you work so hard. And these network opportunities, these MLM opportunities are presenting a lifestyle of freedom. They're presenting a lifestyle of freedom, and people are not willing to take a chance with that. But they would rather take a chance with working 20 and 25 and 30 and 40 years, until they can't move around anymore, while everyone else who was in network marketing that they thought was a scam or a scheme is now enjoying their lifestyle, traveling the world and being able to provide that legacy for their family and for their children's children. So for those of you who are listening, I am Adina Hodge, the Inspired Radio Show host. Okay? Yes, I've ventured off to many different things because those are the things that I like. Those are the things that I do, and it's beneficial for me. It's beneficial for my family. But it's to, you just traveling within the U.S. There's a whole other world out there for you to see. And when you get to travel the world and you get to explore and go to different countries, you get to see the different cultures and how grateful and how humble and how appreciative they are just to even have us as a visitor. But yet when you go back to where you came from, it makes you think about so much more. So if you're listening and you come back and listen to the replay of this, making a decision, some of you that's been following me on Facebook, we've been in certain groups together. Right now with my company, we have a wonderful, wonderful special that's going on. So for those of you who are interested, you're tired of being sick and tired, you want to make that decision and you say, you know what, I want to step out on faith. Go ahead and step out on faith. What's the worst that's going to happen? You can text me at 646-504-2503, or you can send me an inbox on Facebook. Join the Facebook group, The Inspired Radio Show. If you're just coming back, listening to the broadcast. And I'd like to thank you all for taking the time out to listen. I'd like to thank our special guest again, Marketing Director, Miss 50K, to Shauna Richardson for joining us on the show, and Mr. Keisha Trap, aka Queen Trap Millionaire, for joining the show today. And I want you all to have a blessed and wonderful evening. Thank you.
Nobody stopping my shine. They try to break me, try to take me out, but I got Jesus on the side. So better thought he died. But ain't no power stronger than the one who came and laid down his life. And I got mountains to climb, but the enemy can't stop me, cause there's a calling on my life. So when I'm crying, don't last too long, cause he gon' step in and make it alright. Only do it, he said he would. Fight your battles for you, they gon' wonder how you sleep at night. Wanna do it? Oh, yes, he will. Yes, he will. Anybody tell you something different, you know that's a lie. You gon' look back and be so amazed. Space, wanna do it? He said he would. So it's just a matter of time. They do it. He said he would. So it's just a matter of time. So I just